Hi everyone. I trust all is well with you and yours. It's been an exciting couple of days. Started out Monday with Dan Larimer and his team announcing EOS. Looks very exciting. It very likely could be the operating system that brings blockchain into the mainstream. So I advise that you should certainly sign up for the mailing list and keep your eyes on that. Looks to be a very exciting time ahead. Having said that, I'm still struggling here with Philemon Steemit. I keep talking with a lot of people about it. We're going in circles, but I don't mind that, because it's through that dialogue and through the very fact that I'm able, thanks to you guys, to make these posts. I'm able to help start. I'm able to, shall I say, help myself think these things through. We're all part of our own little world, I guess, and sometimes it's often for us to see outside that and the implications that our world might have on others. That's why I'm trying to go as quickly as I can, but but as well, equally as methodically as I can, in bringing Stoker's Furnace to Steemit. Again, I'm going to share with you just some of my thoughts. I mean, the little picture can often take care of itself if you have a grasp of the big picture. And as I talk more and more about this, and as I go into depth more and more about it, I find that the opportunity with Steemit is mind-boggling. I'm now into the headspace of thinking culture. I mean, Steemit could be a cultural platform unlike any other. I mean, it could be a record of incredible art and art projects, and generally any number of human intellectual achievements. I mean, it really is, thinking in terms of the blockchain, coupled with the rewards base, just an incredible opportunity for even grassroots anywhere in the world to be able to become part of this world. So I'm now looking at this as being, a complete culture that is in its earliest of possible stages, that could grow into something just monumental, to say the least, and very fruitful without question. All based, of course, on the fact that it has a reward system. Now, when I look at that big picture, it kind of scares me. But then I like to try to take it from there and bring it back down to the individual, into the individual project. And somehow or another, what we've got to do is come up with this model that is based on the individual project. I think it's going to be easier for some than others. But on the other hand, funny thing about art, be it film, be it a novel, be it poetry, I mean, at some point it becomes part of the public domain. And so on that basis, we cannot think of it as having, from a monetization point of view, of having an endless income stream. On the other hand, we all know that it takes resources, money, effort, and so on, whether the project is a Mona Lisa or whether it's a painting that I might do or attempt in watercolor or whatever. That's pathetic. But nonetheless, each requires resources, be it resources within the individual or resources exterior to the individual. Within the individual, we may call it talent, I guess. But it also takes resources to allow that talent to flourish. So now I look at the film and I say to myself, okay, and the suggestions have been coming in fast and furious about a smart contract. Okay, so we go out and we do, let's say, a smart contract based on, we'll call it a Stoker's Furnace token. All right, so we have, a crowd sale, etc. We sell the token and so on, etc. But interesting about a film, we take the money, we make the film. Once the film is released, it's in that period of time you expect to see the biggest returns. You see that every week when a film is released, the big box office for that week, who won, etc., etc. But from then on, the income or revenue from the film starts to diminish. Over a year, over 5 years, over 10 years, it largely diminishes to virtually zero. So when you look at terms of a token, you're not looking at a constantly increasing revenue stream. You're looking at an ever decreasing revenue stream, which dictates that the token itself, to all intents and purposes, is going to decline in value. Well, there are some who have said, okay, so what you do in that case is with the revenue generated from the film, you buy back the tokens and you destroy them. That does make some sense. Now, keep in mind that when you make a film outside of Steemit, then usually what happens is people aren't investing in the film. They're buying a percentage portion of the income stream. There are various models they use out there. Obviously limited partnerships and so on are the most favored model. And of course there are tax benefits involved in that and so on. It's tailored for a specific type of investor. But again, these are wealthy people. What we want to do is we want to democratize it to the point where anybody on the street can be part of it. But on the other hand, there's got to be a reward for them to be part of it, as is there a reward for the talent and the creative people that are part of the project to get it underway. So somehow or another, we have to come up with this concept of having an individual project be able to stand on its own merit, regardless of its size, and allow most everybody to be part of it. Now, it's easy to divert from that and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a steam film studio, and we're going to use that to produce all these films, over the next 10 years. Well, that's just another hierarchy. That's just another where you got a group of people, a few people making up their minds for everybody else on how, I don't know, that doesn't seem right to me. What seems right to me is we've got to find this individual project model where we can literally let everyone on the sidelines become involved in it, while at the same time let everybody on the sidelines develop their own project based on the same model. So it's got to be somewhat standardized, I guess. It's got to be inexpensive. It's got to achieve the goals and objectives of making Steemit the platform a cultural icon. Again, the idea of these the arts and all these human intellectual achievements building on this platform, ever growing, etc., etc. And I don't think it's going to be easy to do. So I think we're going to have to muster some pretty smart people, certainly beyond my capability, to kind of make this happen. So anybody out there who would like to comment on this and maybe give me some additional insight, maybe point me down another path or whatever, please do. And keeping in mind that the goal is to keep it keep it absolutely decentralized, period. And to the point where this model, as we may call it now, can be adopted literally by anybody for anything artistic, for anything creative, quite frankly, anything to help build the culture of Steemit. After all, Steemit's strength is going to come from the fact that it is going to be the platform that can attract these individuals who can achieve on the platform itself. So that's what I want to say right now today. I hope I'm not boring you with these thoughts. It's difficult pouring through all this stuff sometime. So you become my conscience, I guess. And that's what I'm hoping with you will be able to set out and start, instead of talking about it, building it as quickly as we can. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. We'll talk again soon. Bye.